In this lesson, I'm going to help you write your first VBA macro in SolidWorks. I'll guide you step by step through the process of creating a simple macro that outputs messages using 3 different scenarios. The first one is going to use a debug print that's going to show a hello world or hello VBA message in the immediate window. Then we'll use the message box function that's the default one provided to us by the VBA. And then we'll use a SolidWorks API call that does the same thing. By the end of this lesson, you will have a working macro and some understanding of the basics of VBA in SolidWorks. Let's begin by creating the macro. I'm going to go to Tools, Macro, and I'm going to click on New. And in here, I'm going to type in my first macro as the name of my macro, and I'm going to click on Save. And this is going to show me the Visual Basic editor. In here, I'm going to clean my code area, and then I'm going to go to my View menu and click on Immediate Window. This is going to show the immediate window that is going to be necessary for using debug print. Let's start by putting our cursor in the code area, and we're going to write our first subroutine. Think of a subroutine as a block of instructions that VBA can execute. I'm going to type in sub space and then the name of my subroutine. I'm going to call it my first macro. And there will be a specific lesson about subroutines. So I'm going to press enter, and then VBA automatically closes my subroutine for me. Inside of my subroutine, I'm going to type in an instruction that is going to print hello from SolidWorks VBA. Let's type it out. It starts with debug.print, and then I need to use double quotes because we are going to type some text. And then inside the double quotes, I'm going to type in hello from SolidWorks VBA. Now to execute this code, all I need to do is to make sure that my cursor is inside my subroutine, and then I need to locate the green button here that it says run. I'm going to click on it, and you'll notice that the code compiled and executed, and you see the print of our text here in the immediate window. Awesome. Now let's give this more flair, and I'm gonna show you another way of displaying this message using a dialog box. Now let's remove debug print and change that with MSG BOX. This is short for message box. And this is a built-in functionality in VBA that allows us to print text in a dialog box. I'm going to click on run one more time here, and you'll see that we have a message box saying hello from SolidWorks VBA. I'm going to click on OK, and now we're back to the Visual Basic editor. Finally, we're going to use an API call called send message to user to send a message to the user. Now this is going to use a similar dialog box, but this dialog box will have an icon. All right, let's remove this code. And before we write the API call that sends the message to the user, we need to write some preamble code that communicates with SolidWorks. I'll start by using this special keyword called dim simply to define a variable called SWP, and there will be a future lesson on variables as, and then I'm going to specify this type SLDworks.SLDworks. This variable will represent a pointer to the SolidWorks application. Now this is just a declaration. We need to give it a value. So we'll use the set keyword for that. So set SWP space equal to application dot SLDWorks. Now, SLDWorks is the highest level object in the API. In it, there's a method called sendMessageToUser2 that takes in a few parameters. The first one is the text of the message, and it will be hello from SolidWorks VBA. And then there are a few other parameters that we need to specify here. I will change this message box to be an information one, so SWMB information, and I'll just add an OK button. Now all I need to do is to click on run, and you can see we have a much nicer dialog box here that has the information icon and the message hello from SolidWorks VBA. I'm going to click on OK to confirm, and that takes us back to the Visual Basic editor. Instead of clicking on the run button, we can also press F5 to run the macro quickly, and we can go to the toolbar here and click on the save button, and that will save our progress. Congratulations, you've written and executed your first VBA macro in SolidWorks by using debug print, message box, and send message to user. This is just the start of your SolidWorks VBA programming journey, so I'll look forward to seeing you in the next lessons.